Oh boy, speaking of corrupt judges, do you remember the Wisconsin judge who helped an illegal alien evade ICE? Well, she was trying to get the charges against her dropped, and she has failed. This is from the Daily Caller. A Wisconsin judge accused of helping an illegal migrant avoid federal immigration authorities lost her bid to throw out the Trump administration's case against her because what she did was clearly illegal. U.S. District Judge Lynn Edelman on Tuesday denied a motion to dismiss the federal case against Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan, paving the way for a trial on charges that she obstructed Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, or ICE, to continue, according to court documents. Edelman rejected Dugan's argument that she was acting in her official capacity as a judge and thus immune from prosecution. You being a judge does not allow you to break the law. She is not the law, and once more, a political hack sitting in Judge Robes. A review of the relevant history reveals that the government has the better of the argument, Edelman wrote in his ruling. There is no basis for granting immunity simply because some of the allegations in the indictment describe conduct that could be considered part of a judge's job, Edelman said. As the magistrate judge noted, the same is true in the bribery prosecutions, concededly valid, where the judges were prosecuted for performing official acts intertwined with bribery. Exactly. Just because you're wearing your little dinky judge robe and you are currently in session doesn't mean that you could break the law. If the judge decided to whip out a gun and execute people in the courtroom that she didn't like, she would not have immunity from murder, because she was in her official capacity. It's a stupid argument. But of course, she's desperate because they have her dead to rights. Appointed to the bench by President Bill Clinton and a former Democrat state senator in Wisconsin, the 85-year-old Edelman is considered a liberal judge, which means that her crime must be really obvious for even a left-wing hack judge to rule against her. The FBI arrested Dugan back in April after investigating her for allegedly helping Eduardo Flores-Ruiz, an illegal migrant charged with violence, fleeing from ICE agents. The indictment accuses Dugan of obstructing a U.S. agency and concealing an individual to prevent an arrest, which could carry a penalty of up to 6 years in prison and a $350,000 fine. Good. Throw the book at this crazy bitch. Make sure that she rots in jail for as long as possible. Set a precedent so that other rogue judges know that the Department of Justice is serious. And if you break the law, even as someone who wields power, that the federal government will come for you. Because for too long, these people, these leftist lunatics, have felt that they are immune, that they are above the law, and they act accordingly. You can see the same thing with the people that riot and burn flags and burn down buildings and murder people all the time. They think that they are immune from consequences because for decades, the Democrat Party has looked the other way, has allowed this to happen, and so the precedent was set. Now, in an official statement, FBI Director Kash Patel said that we believe Judge Dugan intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse, Eduardo Flores-Ruiz, allowing the subject, an illegal alien, to evade arrest. Thankfully, our agents chased down the perp on foot and he has been in custody since, but the judge's obstruction created increased danger to the public. The Democrat-majority Wisconsin Supreme Court suspended Dugan from her duties shortly after the arrest, temporarily prohibiting her from her responsibilities as a county judge until, quote, further order of the court. By the way, it has got to be a lot easier to get rid of judges. We need to change the rules there, too. Because and I understand why they made it difficult in the first place, because you don't want judges to be easily swayed from enforcing the law because of pressure from the public or corrupt politicians. But in this kind of cases, when you've got judges clearly thwarting the will of the American people, you need to be able to expunge these people without so much effort. Now, this is not the first time that the Trump administration has gone after a judge for allegedly helping an illegal immigrant evade ICE agents from their courtroom. During President Donald Trump's first White House term, federal prosecutors slapped felony charges against a Massachusetts judge, Shelley Joseph, back in 2018 for allowing an illegal migrant to flee through a back door to avoid an ICE agent waiting in the lobby. So, political hacktivist judges are at it again, and one step at a time, but you got to throw the book at these people every chance you get. You need to make an example of them. And not just the judges, but politicians, mayors, governors, anyone who would break the law, anyone who would thwart our immigration efforts to remove the 25 to 30 million people infesting this country. These people need to pay a steep price for their hubris, for their arrogance, and for their criminality. We cannot allow this stuff to continue. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but let's hope that the Trump administration shows some real cojones and that we see real action bring this madness to a close.